The purpose of this video is to start you off for the fabric that is the main fabric for the Rabbit Owl sweater and also the daisy chain cardigan. It uses an extended DC FLO and a chain 1 in a grid format, and at first it can be a little tricky perhaps to see where to insert the hook. So for the way the pattern works is there is an odd number of chain to begin with, so I can just do a short run of that. So it's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, let's do 15 for the sake of this exercise. I'll just double check. 3, 6, 9, 12, yep, 15. So we do your chain and then you turn. So I turn it over, so now I'm looking at the rear bump is one way of doing it, or you can go into the front chain face to begin with. Doesn't matter too much, but one way or the other, so it's flat that way or it's flat that way. Depending on your preference there, I'm going to go the front face of the chain facing me, and now we want to chain 1, which is your turning chain effectively, and then extended DC FLO. So front loop only is really just the top loop. So if you're working to the front face of the chain, it'd be that one. And if you were working into the back face of the chain, or where you see the line of rear bumps, then it's a bit harder to see. You'd be working under the single loop at the top there, just above the rear bump there. So anyway, we've done our chain 1. We're going to work our first stitch into the first chain here, front loop only, and you've started off just like your regular DC. You've inserted your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and now to make an extended stitch, you really just yarn over chain 1. That's the extended part, and then you finish the stitch as normal. So that's the extended DC. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip 1 chain and go into the next chain, do the same thing. So we're going to insert front loop only, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 to make the extended part of the stitch, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and there's your extended double crochet. So we'll go across the front of these 15 stitches. So miss 1, across to the end, whoops, okay, and we're coming to the end here. And this is why we need an odd number, to make sure our last stitch goes into the last, whoops, chain. So chain 1, and now we're onto our last stitch, so we can just go under the single loop at the top there, and there's our extended double crochet. So we just finished the first row, done the turning chain and turned, and we're just going to go into the beginning stitch, or the first extended double crochet of the previous row, under the front loop, because we're doing it again an extended DC FLO and a chain 1. So the turning chain doesn't count as a stitch, and we work into that first stitch. Now we need to work into every second stitch across the row, and so we're missing the chain 1 and we're working into the extended double crochet. We're missing the chain 1 and working into the extended double crochet. And the extended double crochets are, if you pull the fabric apart, you can just kind of see each one has this sort of triangle shape, and there's this gap made by the extension. So we just want to insert the hook under 1 loop at the front above that shape. My yarn is not behaving. I'll just do a few more to stabilize it. Might be able to see it a bit better on this one. So you've got this sort of triangular V shape, you've got your gap made by the extension, and it's the front loop only just sitting above it to insert your hook. And carry on. And it might help just to begin with to just pull the fabric so you can recognise the shape and go onto that front loop only as you work across. Okay, so we've done 4 rows now of the main fabric for Rabbit Alice or daisy chain patterns, and because you're working the front loop only on every row and then we're turning, you're left with this ridge every second row, and that's the unworked loop you left behind with the chain between. So where you get this little diagonal line, that's a chain, and where you get the horizontal little line, it's an extended DC stitch that we've worked into.